How you doing, man? How's your dad?
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, he's resting right now.
Legend. Yeah,
And
yeah.
yourself, how's you and the family?
Yeah, everybody's fine, man. You know how it is, man. Everybody's beautiful, and we bless God, man. We bless God for everything, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah, man. Man, it's good to see. FJ. Chee.
Yeah, how long has it been? Like a couple of months since I last seen you.
Yeah. No, it's been really long,
Mm.
really, really long, man.
First off, I support your cause 100%. You know what I mean?
Thanks, man. Thank you, man.
And I have to give y'all a salute. It's what people need right now. It's what the youth need. It's what we all need right now.
Yeah, definitely, man, definitely.
So you started this cause all by yourself, isn't it?
Go on, tell me what. We've got so many people. Some few questions for you, but the most important thing is for us to introduce yourself, and then we'll take it from there, bro.
Okay. To introduce myself, I'm Foley Subaru. You can call me FJ because my father's also Foley. I've been boxing officially ABC for about 4 years now. I've had like 11 fights with them. I've won most of them, and really and truly, I feel like boxing to me is more of a lifestyle. It's part of life. So it brought more positivity into who I am today, and that's why I am who I am now.
Good, man. Thanks for that introduction, man. That introduction is dope, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
hey, listen, yeah. Another question I would like to ask you is as you know yourself, man. Boxing, what has boxing? Why boxing, man? Why boxing? You're a cute guy, man. Tell us, why boxing, man? Why boxing?
The thing is, it's more of a bloodline thing. My father was an amateur boxer when he was a kid, slightly younger than I was back in Nigeria. It's because he started with saying that he would have played football, but he grew up in a Muslim household. So what it was is that if you were to come home dirty, they'll wall up him, they'll whack him. So he found boxing, and he was pretty good at it. Is when his mother found out that he was boxing, that he put a stop to it. So he could have carried his career forward. He could have been a pro in the Western world, but that couldn't happen for him, unfortunately. So when I got to a certain age, I just looked at life. I finished my GCSEs already. Well, when I was 16, I'm 21 now. After I finished my GCSEs, I just looked at life thinking, hold on, what am I going to do with life? I mean, because I can't be the one to just sit around and do nothing. I mean, I've been in groups where, people smoke weed and they drink. I just thought that can't really be my life. I mean, I'm friends with these guys, but I can't sit around just doing nothing my entire life. So I just looked at boxing, and I just thought that's something I should have done a long time ago. I mean, because everyone was doing sports when I was in school, and maybe I did maybe a little bit of karate, but that didn't really mean much to nobody. So I just looked at, the glory of it, the fame of it, and I just thought, you know what, I think boxing is more my true calling.
Wow, that's great, man. Great, man. Wow. Like father, like son, man. That saying never gets old, That saying never gets old, man. I want you to tell the youngsters out there, because most of these things we do at Save Our Youth, as you know, we do it for the youngsters. We want them to understand what every aspect of life means. You starting from an early age to box. What is it like? How was training for you? How was it? Because I know as a boxer, you must have one of the key elements, which is discipline. How was it for you? Tell us, how was it for you, man?
Wow, it's not easy. For the people who see me train and do all of that, the fighting is never easy. What me and other boxers go through is hard. I mean, it takes away. Well, it takes away. Obviously chunks of your life and your time, but at the end of the day, it's supposed to be worth it. But you're right, it does bring discipline because of how hard it is and how much dedication and work you put into it. So the thing is, when you know that you can box and you're good at it, you're more, because I know Xavier used the whole concept is to try and, it's like gloves up, knives down, isn't it? You're trying to reduce knife crime, and that is what I agree with.
Absolutely.
When you feel like you can fight and no one can bother, you don't need to carry a weapon because you are the weapon.
Thank you.
If anything, that's why I feel like boxing should be promoted more, because there's more glory in fist fighting than stabbing somebody. I mean, you believe it or not, because I think people are starting to see more that stabbing someone is more of a last resort, is weak. I mean, so what? I mean, carrying a knife just to feel safe. If you don't have that knife no more, who are you?
Trust, man. True. Very true. Very true. Very true. Very true, man. I hope our youngsters are gonna listen to this over and over. Listen, it's not all about that instrument. Sometimes, there was one time I was in the gym and I listened to, because your dad is a pioneer. Your dad is a pioneer. I listened to some of the things he said. He said he mentioned that day that, listen, if you don't do this, if you don't discipline yourself, if you don't train yourself, if you don't keep yourself on track, on focus, then you're going to live in the street. And the street demands the same thing, because you're going to be watching over your shoulders every day. You're going to be trying to keep yourself safe every day. And that's what some youngsters don't understand. Honestly, they don't understand that. Why don't you just choose the way that, you're going to work hard for it, and one day it might come up to happen for you. I appreciate you, man. I honestly appreciate what you just said. I want you to tell the youngsters out there how boxing itself has impacted you and has changed you, and what your team, because I remember some, you guys, you're training a bunch of youngsters. I remember one time I came down to the gym, you guys were like, well, what has that impact on you? Seeing your friends, all of you are growing up together, you spar yourself, you train. What was that? What's that impact on you now?
It makes us better. I mean, not just as boxers, but as as people. I mean, first off, that means you're not too scared to take an ass whooping, because that's what I was trying to elaborate when I was talking about there's more glory in fist fighting than knives. Even though you may have not won, then again, you'd be surprised. You're more of a man now, because now you can take punches, you can fight now. I mean, so you won't have to resort on weapons just to get rid of someone that's bothering you. I mean, there's no necessary concept of carrying a knife or using one. I mean, but boxing itself, we all inspire each other. That's the whole concept. I mean, you always inspire each other to be better. So that's what I feel like boxing is like. Yeah, exactly. So we watch each other train. We improve each other. In fact, you'd be surprised. That's how you make friends. Imagine you smash the shit out of each other, and afterwards, you show love. That's the beauty of it.
I see, man. I respect that, man. I'm trying to play some of the clips on the day I saw, I brought some youngsters there and they watch you guys train, and those.
We're always like a family. That's how we
amazed, man. They were kind of amazed, because they never thought like they would see somebody like young kids boxing themselves, showing those kind of skills and stuff like that. It's honestly, man. Honestly, I respect you guys. I've seen you guys do your thing, so you respect big time, man, big time. So what inspires you? Apart from your dad, what was the inspiration behind you? Your training, your ability to keep going. I know some days it's not easy. Like I tell youngsters, it's never going to be easy. It's not a straight road. It's not a bed of roses. What inspires you?
Self-motivation, really. I mean, you just look at yourself and say, you know what? I can do this. That's what it is. I think that's what other people think when they watch me. They just look at it and think, I can do this. But at the same time, it's easier said than done. That's what I'm thinking. I mean, it's either you go out and do it yourself, or you just stand there and you watch. So really and truly, being the one that's watching, it doesn't do much for me. So I might as well get out and get the glory myself. It's just all about what you want and what you set your mind to. I mean, either you grab it or you let someone else grab it and you watch.
Very true, very true, man. I've seen you and AJ on some of you and AJ getting down training. What is he like to you? What's AJ like to you?
Listen, he inspires us all. I mean, he's a symbol of hope for every other boxer in my gym. I mean, because he fought from Finchley, so I have trained with him before. Like once when he came over to the gym just to train with the seniors, and I was there sharing a bag with him. But a lot of the times I watch him train just so I can get some pointers off of him. I mean, so you might as well watch the best, just to improve your own strategy. That's how I see it. I mean, so watching him train all the time in person, right? When I'm sitting on the couch and I'm on the chairs, and I'm watching him either on the pads or whatever he's doing. I mean, I added to my own game plan and just to see if I can improve just to get on his level. That's what it's all about.
That's great, man. That's great. AJ is a great person. No lie about that.
I told him he's a role model. I mean, you have to be all modest and humble on that. I'm like, nah, you know who you are and what you do to people and what you inspire. I mean, that's what I do.
Oh, that's great, man. That's great. How's the future like for you? How do you see yourself in the future? What say in the nearby future now? Because I've seen your fights. I'm trying to put some of your fights down so you can. I've actually seen you box. How are you looking at yourself now? After telling yourself, motivating yourself, keep that discipline, that focus, that determination to scale out of from 0 to like 10. How do you see yourself in the nearby future?
You know what? The way I see, I just feel like no dream is ever too big. I mean, the sky's the limit. So
Good.
whatever is there for me in the future, I can just obviously try and get to the top as possible. So I feel like the sky's the limit. So I can just keep doing what I'm doing just until I reach the top. You know what I mean? You can only be satisfied with what you achieve. So really and truly, right now, I feel like I'm not satisfied because I'm not where I want to be right now. I mean, you can only work to the point where you can say, you know what, I did it.
That's great, man. That's great. I like that. So back again, talking to AJ,
Anthony Joshua.
Has he actually see you fight? Because there was one time Sean and I saw them talking about your fight. How sharp you are. How you punches
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. In terms of Anthony Joshua seeing me fight, how you doing, JK? I can't recall if he's actually seen me fight before. Maybe because I have him on socials. I might have posted clips of me fight. Maybe he's watched a couple, but I don't actually know whether he's seen me fight or not. But hopefully, I can get to the point where I'm good enough for him to actually want to see me fight. So to him wanting to come and see my shows, etc. I mean, so really and truly, I can't say much about that particular subject. I mean, see what he thinks of me as a boxer. I mean, he only knows me more as a person, believe it or not.
Okay, great, man. Wow. Sorry, just one sec.
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
Sorry, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Yeah, sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. So, if I was to say to you right now, what advice would you give to the many youngsters out there? You understand? What advice in terms of boxing, in terms of sport as itself, and in terms of what you're seeing every day as in youngsters these days are doing things that, like you mentioned, carrying knives, guns, or trying to be in a gang instead of like focusing on the future, because like your daddy said to me, is what you sow now that you will reap in 10 years time. I don't think some youngsters understand. What would your advice be?
Okay, first off, boxing. To those who are just who are rookies who are starting to box, right? when it comes to, let's say, sparring, and you take a really bad beating, don't let that beating end. If you really wanted to box, then you'll continue taking those ass whoopings up until the point where you turn the tables, right? So giving up is overrated. I mean, you learn that the hard way, but eventually you learn from that anyway. I mean, so now in terms of guns and knives and all of that, right? What do you want? So what? You stab or shoot someone. What do you hope to gain out of it? What do you see next? What is your plan afterwards? You know what I mean? Because, take into account is either, you can make a better decision or go prison, or you, on the other hand, be at the end of the knife or gun, and that's unfortunate. That's why would you want to cut your life short? Is that a part of your plan? Because you're either wasting your freedom or you just wasted your own life. So if anything, you just have to think: do I really need this knife or gun to solve my problems? Is there not an alternative route? There's always a million and one different ways that you can solve problems. I mean, if anything, if it's some gang violence or whatever, there's no shame in talking it out. Try to resolve issues, verbally. I mean, there's no shame in being a bigger man. It's better than being a dead man or the man in prison. I mean, you don't have to put yourself in a situation where you're in a police station, etc. You can prevent that. You can't worry about, I got so much beef, or I can't walk around this way because I might find an op. You can prevent that. You have the power to actually change that. Is what you forgot. Because I remember someone even asked me, why am I not in beef with nobody? Why am I mean, does that know what yeah, but what's the point? You can't complain about having too much beef, and then you're the one that could have stopped that or prevented that in the first place. You might as well, because my motto that I learned from one rapper named Nas is respect all, fear none. I mean, you show respect to people who respect you. I mean, and you fear nobody, because once you show fear, then that means you've done something wrong. So how about you don't live your life in fear, and then you go on and make better decisions.
Oh, that's great, man. I love your motto, man. Respect all, fear none.
That's from Nas. That's from Nas.
That is dope, man. Seriously, that is dope, man. Before we go, I want you to touch base little. I know you kind of see what's going around in the world right now. I know it's not in your place, but what would you like to share to people in terms of like people that's going to be watching this later on, or people that's going to be watching in the future? What would be your advice in terms of the protests and what we kind of see going on? What would be your thoughts in terms of it?
The protest in terms of Black Lives Matter.
Yeah, in terms of Black Lives Matters, yes.
Well, that's the thing. Someone just asked me, why am I not joining the protest? I prefer to do my support in silence. Obviously, I'm all for the organization for obvious reasons, right? Yeah. But it's just that when it comes to protest, I don't trust, because imagine I'm in a room full of people I don't know. So I can't trust how you're going to act. What's meant to be a peaceful protest, I don't want that. I don't want people to start being violent and start fucking shit up. So what it is that I feel that we just need one good speaker, with a podium or soapbox that knows what they're talking about. Like, control a whole crowd of people, just, so they can follow him and he can guide us to what is right. Because obviously, the leader of the country can't do that. So it's just that one person, like Martin or Malcolm. That we need another one of those, just so nothing goes awry. So, I just keep what I'm doing in silence. The donations, the signing petitions, the sharing trends and all of that. I mean, so I can support Black Lives Matter as much as I want. But in terms of the situation and how it is, I can't hate everybody because of who they are. So when it comes to police officers and all of that, I understand that there are good and bad police officers. The people who killed George Floyd, they are bad police officers, no doubt about it. I do not support whatever they did to George Floyd. I rebuke them and I can't, because now all the good cops that are actually doing good for all people, you ruined it for them. I mean, because what it was, you had him in handcuffs already. So what's stopping all four of you from carrying him and putting him in a van?
Yeah.
Instead of choking him, so what? He has to be asleep first for you to, for you to apprehend. I mean, so obviously, you know, something's not right. And obviously, I know people say all lives matter, but if all lives matter, then why do Black lives have to seem like they matter less? Can you hear me? Okay, yeah. So if all lives matter, so why does it seem like Black lives have to matter less? Right? We're not, you know, Black Lives Matter is not an anti-white protest. It's not against anyone. It's just that we're fighting for our lives because coincidentally, well, it's not a coincidence no more. They're killing us, and we shouldn't have to be killed for nothing. I mean, if you think all lives are precious, then look at us. Then you don't see any. Well, you don't see any police brutality happening to any other race, do you? Is this mostly us? Well, if not just us, then mostly us. And you can see that, but you choose to ignore it. So that means that there's obviously a problem with you as well. Are you supporting them? Is there something you want to say? That's where I'm at.
Touching, man, touching. You know, what you're saying is absolutely true, and I hear you. And our hearts, our condolences go to the family, and we'll continue to show our concern in our fight to make sure that our children don't come to be in a situation like this. Don't be in a situation like this, because you know it's been a long time coming. But as in there's no better time to do anything. There's no wrong time to do anything. So what happened has just exposed a lot of things, and yeah, what you said is absolutely right. Listen, FJ, it's been a great time. If there's any more thing you want to share with the people, please do that.
I hope the cops that did kill George Floyd are brought to proper justice, because if not, then I predict there's going to be a big riot about it. And hopefully, you know, they can overturn. Well, whoever's prosecuting him can look into their hearts and, you know, hopefully, you know, bring justice and change. That's all we want. Change, you know, equity, equality. That's all we want. Well, I mean, it's not about black. You know, when I say brothers and sisters, I'm not just talking about black people. I mean, I'm just talking about those who show mutual love. That's just all it is. That's what's missing.
Wow, touching, man, touching, son. Man, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Listen, you know you're an ambassador for Save Our Youths. We've got your T-shirt here, so definitely.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna be sending this.
Yeah, mail it to me. Let me see. That's hard. I like that.
Yeah. So, thank you so much, my brother, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thanks to the ABC, officially ABC Gym. You guys continue to do your great stuff for the community. Keep on doing what you're doing, and I believe the future is bright for you. So. If anything, we're gonna try come down to the gym when everything gets better. We're gonna come down to the gym and we're gonna have a catch up as well. Okay?
Yeah, hopefully. I hope you and the family safe. I hope all is well with all of you.
We're all blessed, man. Thank you so much, my brother. Thank you so much. God bless you, man. God bless you.
Take care.
God bless, man. Y'all people, you heard it from the young chap. It's been absolutely touching, you know. The one thing I want to touch on before I go myself is that he's disciplined and he's humble. Discipline. Last week I was talking about the 4 keys, the fundamental keys to add to your development as a young person. My father taught me this a long time ago. He said, have these 4 keys, add them to what you already know, add them to your development in life. You know, the 4 keys, the 4 Ds, I call them the 4 Ds. The desire, your desire, which is your passion for something. You understand? Everybody has a passion for something. You have that burning desire. Is it kind of music? Is it football? Is it education? Is it to cook? Is it to learn? Is it to help people? There's a passion. There's a desire in you that you need to let out. And also, you need to have the drive. That is number 2, the drive. the drive to do something, the drive, in another word, is called determination. And for this young boy, FJ, he's got so much determination. He's learned so much from his dad, because his dad got him by the, his dad got him by the hand and said, listen, son, you got to do this, and you have to make sure you have the passion, the drive. And the third D is the direction, focus. Direction, focus. You understand? Direction, your focus. And the fourth one is discipline. Every individual needs discipline, regardless of what you're doing. If you want to be in the street and you're not disciplined, you'll go nowhere. If you want to be in a boxing gym, in a boxing ring, and you're not disciplined, you're going nowhere. If you want to be a footballer and you're not disciplined, you don't have that drive to map out what you want, you're going nowhere. If you want to be a doctor, what do you want to be in life? Everything revolves around discipline, because discipline brings out a different attitude, a different behavior towards your success. Discipline builds you better and better each day as you proceed, as you move forward to your future. That's what discipline does. On this note, I'm going to say thank you to everyone. Remember, we're going to be here next week, Friday again, and we're going to be talking to some legend, and they're going to be telling us about the music industry itself, and how they've come, how they come from the street itself to where they are. So keep your ears open, keep supporting Save Our Youths. We're doing all this for the youngsters out there, man. We're doing this for them to know that there is greatness in you. You got greatness, and all you have to do is activate it. You just have to dig into yourself and activate your greatness. There is no